Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion Plays Gods Will Be Watching. So, obviously a heartbreaking end to the last episode. A number of people asked, you know, are you going to do this whole episode from the start again? I am. It seemed like about a 50-50 split. Some people were like, don't do the whole thing, oh my god, it's going to be laborious. And some people were like, do the whole thing, I don't want to miss anything. So what I'm going to do is put a little annotation down at the bottom, you know, right around here, or maybe up here somewhere, that'll allow you to skip to when I, hopefully, if all goes well, get to the second stage of the vaccine. But apart from that, if you don't want to see the first part here where I go through the same process, go click that. Otherwise, here we go. So my general philosophy is pretty much get everyone started digging ASAP. Except for the doctors, of course. So everyone's gonna dig. I would like to solve one of the problems as soon as possible, but one thing we do have to keep in mind is that we really, really want to coincide periods of rest with when people are gonna be getting vaccinated anyway. So I say we go hard on digging for now, and we have our doctors use the computer, and we're gonna research an antidote, and we're gonna start with OBD. We're gonna go with risky. The speed of the vaccine, or sorry, the speed of the vaccine is determined by its risk. So we're gonna take a 40% risky one, and it's gonna be OBD, just to see if they use the same compound every time. And we're gonna have this doctor use computer and research antidote to help. Okay, and then we're gonna let some time tick by. I think I've got the philosophy down a little bit more. Generally, it only takes a couple of tries to suss out what's happening in Gods Will Be Watching. Certainly, we have no reason to do anything else on this turn. Let's work for 30 minutes. We can have Brandon give us some life readouts a little bit later, but I think first step is just work people to the bone, finishing up the first vaccine here. So work for 30 minutes. So we're going to have a lot of digging done, and then we're going to probably end up injecting. Is that complete? Research complete? Good. Okay, we're gonna probably end up injecting Jack, but let's just talk to Brandon quickly and look at our information here. Debris and performance. How's everybody doing? Donald's not so hot. Brandon's still in a great position despite all the digging. So Jack, Sergeant Burden, and Marvin. A lot of people told me to inject Donald instead, but I really think Brandon's so important that I can't just let Donald get attacked or get infested. What am I even going for here? I can't let him die. So we're gonna have Jack get injected with our risky antidote, OBD. And hopefully this will end up working for him. And in the meantime, we're gonna have both of our doctors make some sedatives and adrenaline. Because there's no need to work on another vaccine right now. We gotta maximize our time here. So you're gonna use computer, and you're gonna produce a sedative, and you're gonna use the computer, and you're gonna produce adrenaline. And then we're gonna let, maybe we should send Brandon over to charge the battery up a little bit. Connect power lines. The defibrillator we'll use as necessary. Okay, let's advance time here. Everybody's doing something. Work for 30 minutes. We're gonna work people to the bone a little bit faster here, but we're gonna have sedatives, hopefully, that will compensate for it. So we're gonna, again, just let a little bit of time tick by here. Remember, the more tired people get, the less effective they are at their job, so we're gonna try to make sure that they rest effectively as well. Alright, how you doing there, Jack? Diagnosis. Chances of death, 22%. That's not so bad. Why don't you take a turn to rest, Dr. Zanace? And, we'll, let some time tick by. Work for another 30 minutes. So we've gone through 3.5 hours right now. Let's see if they use the same, option every time. Really? I feel pretty rested. I'm gonna have you rest again. I want to make sure that you guys are good, because that was the problem with the last one. I'm pretty sure Jack's gonna live. Brandon, let's talk and see how people are actually doing here. I'm not trying to rush through the mission. Donald's not looking so hot. So you know what, Donald? You're gonna take a rest for a little while. And then let's look at everybody else. Like Brandon, how are you doing? 70. Not so good. We could have everybody take a rest on this turn. Seems a little foolhardy, though. I say maybe we have Brandon do some digging. We've got a good battery life here. Let's work for 30 minutes. Please don't die, Jack. Please just be fine. And there he is. He's good to go. All right. So we're gonna... I know you're rested. All right? You don't have to brag about it. Analyze blood. Let's hope that they use the same combination every time. And... pop that in there. O. No. Okay. B is correct. D is incorrect. So we're gonna use the computer, research antidote, and we're gonna take another risky one for now. We can afford to be slow. So that was OBD. We know B is right, so we want B in the middle. So maybe we want alpha, beta, lambda. And it's either this or lambda, beta, alpha. So it's ABL or LBA. Good to know. You're going to use the computer, and you're going to research antidote to help out. Okay. Now, Jack, you're going to start digging. Let's see how's Brandon doing. Brandon, request information on people. Debris and performance. So Donald will be fine. Sergeant Burden's a little bit messed up here. So what I'm thinking is we take Sergeant Burden and, okay, well, actually, the way that we're going to have to do this, apologies for the Steam overlay. As always, I'm an idiot. Abandoned project. You're going to need to be ready to inject Sergeant Burden with a sedative so that he can rest a little bit. We're going to be making more sedatives, more adrenaline as time goes on. Might as well use one when we have the opportunity. Keep someone relatively high on themselves here so he can continue to dig later. So you're going to use computer and research antidote. Everyone's good to go. I'm okay with Donald resting some more. Battery life looks good. Let's work for 30 minutes and continue. So far, so good. I'm digging it. Hopefully nobody has to be defibrillated soon. Antidote's going to take 3 turns, maybe even 4. I say we just advance time again. Marvin's not going to be in a great position. Dog is digging like crazy here. Nobody's been infected yet. Let's just quickly check in with Brandon and see how the dig performance is doing here. We have 2,700 kilos left. Donald's looking a little bit better, but he could use another turn. Marvin could rest for a while. Jack's doing fine. Sergeant Burden is actually a lot better. Sergeant Burden, you're going to come back and dig. And you know what, Marvin? You're going to take a little rest. Apparently, and this is a little bit spoilery, but people have told me the reason you don't want to get your dog killed or like inject dangerous vaccines into it is because you can actually use it on the next mission and it'll help you hunt. So you want to make sure that you can do that if possible. So we're gonna, oh no, not stop working, continue working. So we've gone about 5.5 hours out of 28. That's about 20%, and we're 1 turn away from. Oh no! Okay, well, we've got to obviously charge up our defibrillator ASAP to get the doctor back. So Brandon, charge defibrillator. Donald, charge defibrillator. That's all right, though, because Sarah's going to be able to finish this all by herself. So, let's advance for a turn. Work for 30 minutes. And she'll finish it, and then she's going to inject it into Jack again. Jack, inject. ABL, risky, but if it works, we'll know that it's the proper option here. Dr. Zanase, we're going to defibrillate quickly. Do they get a punishment for, like, being infected? Like, do they have a working, or do they have, like, less performance? Dr. Zanase is at 92%. Sarah's at 76%. I almost feel like we should rest Sarah for now because it's so important to keep them in a good position. And we'll have Dr. Zanase produce another sedative because we've been using the sedatives more than anything else. We probably don't need to charge defibrillator. Maybe charge battery instead. But first, let's request information. Debris and performance. Donald is 75. Brandon's at 70. I say we get you to charge the power lines. Connect the power lines. We have Donald rest for 1 more turn and then get him to repair Brandon a little bit. Good. Let's advance. Please, please, please tell me that this is the proper vaccine. I like risky. Risky's fine. Oh, no. So the dog has been paralyzed. Honestly, I don't feel the need to really prioritize defibrillating the dog. As long as it lives, we can use it for the next mission. We can defibrillate it later. No rush, unfortunately, for the dogs and dog lovers out there. We gotta prioritize here. Let some time advance. I've got a little bit of a set it and forget it approach here, but it's more methodical than my previous one, so I'm hoping it works out for me. Sedative's done. Research complete. Good. Let's quickly see how our doctor's doing, just to make sure he doesn't need any rest. Debris and performance. Dr. Zanase, 88%. Why not have him rest for 1 turn? Because Jack should be back next turn, I think, if we give him a diagnosis. He'll wake up in about 60 minutes. Oh, we got 2 turns. We could have him make another sedative, but I don't think we need that. So let's have Brandon rest. And Donald, you're going to repair Brandon. I kind of like this, even though our digging is going to suffer pretty drastically. Let's work for 30 minutes. I worry that maybe our dig's slower than our cure this time. We're maybe being a little bit too nice with people, but we were way too hard on them last time. I feel pretty rested. If I put them both on, like, okay, now let's combine resources here, and we'll have them both produce a sedative here. So it should be done in 1 or 2 turns, at least. Let me help you with that research. Okay. Donald, let's rest for a second. And let's request some information from Brandon. How's everybody doing? Brandon's back to 66. Donald's looking all right. Sergeant Burden could use a rest. You're going to keep repairing Brandon for now. And then we're going to get Brandon to do some digging after he charges the power lines a bit more. All right, so we're 8/28 of the way through the mission. Jack's back. Let's have Dr. Zanace stop working so that we can actually analyze his blood, and the sedative will be done next turn. Please tell me this is right. This would give me such a good window for finding out the proper virus. So remember, it's ABL or LBA, I believe. A is in the wrong place, so it's LBA. So use computer, research antidote. I feel like we should make a, we have time. I really don't want to roll the dice too much on a risky vaccine. We could guarantee it with a lethal vaccine, but I'd much rather use that later. Let's stick with risky for now. And it's going to be LBA. L. No. Cancel. Okay, well, we can just pick and then abandon project. I think I clicked the wrong one. DDB, that would be the worst research of all time. Stop working, abandon project. That didn't cost us anything. Use computer. Research antidote. We'll start using more lethal viruses as things get more desperate. Right now, we're still in a pretty comfortable position. L, B, A. I feel like I should have a notebook in front of me. Okay. And the sedative's gonna be done and she can help. Jack, you're gonna dig. Sergeant Burden, we'll get you injected with a sedative on the next turn. It's okay. You can work for 1 more turn, then you'll be fine. So let's advance some time here. Work for 30 minutes. We need to keep the digging up, because, for obvious reasons, I would think. Research complete. So we're going to quickly inject Sergeant Burden with a sedative to keep him digging. I feel like we've got a pretty nice rhythm going here. We might want to use a sedative on Donald soon, too. Alright, so he's going to rest up a little bit. You're going to use computer, and you are going to help with the antidote. It's going to take another 2 or 3 turns. That's fine. That'll put us at 18, which will give us a decent amount of time. Alright, Donald. You're probably going to dig, but I'm going to take a second and see how's everybody doing. Request information. Debris and performance. Brandon's at 96. Lovely. Donald's not looking so hot. He'll get the next sedative, but we're going to start by connecting the power lines for a couple turns, and then we'll have Brandon help with the digging as well. For now, work for 30 minutes. Probably is in our best interest to have the dog come back to life at some point. What do I know? I'm not a scientist or anything. I say we advance time just a little bit more. The antidote will not be done. That's okay, though. It's very close. So, Brandon, you start digging now. And, Burden, you start digging. We'll have Sarah stop working and abandon the project temporarily. Just long enough to inject Donald with, Oh, you know what? Let's keep working. Use computer. Research antidote. We're gonna inject Donald this time. Because he's gonna be in need of a rest anyway. Alright. Yeah, it's a little risky because if he dies, then we lose our engineer, basically. Which has a lot of consequences. But it could save us a lot of efficiency. So let's get Donald, and we're gonna inject him with antidote LBA. It's risky, but it's the cure. We know it's the cure. We suspect that it's the cure, at least. Alright. Where are you gonna go, Donald? Fair enough. Just hang out there. Oh, alright. He's not looking so hot. That's okay. I'm gonna ask Brandon about multiple things right now. So let's request information. Debris and performance. 2,000 kilos left. So we're closing in on halfway. Everybody looks pretty good, honestly. I think maybe what I'll do is I'll have the doctors... Because this is... We know that that's the antidote. Or the first stage of the antidote. So I say we have them collude on producing a sedative. And then once this is done in 2 turns, they can have like 2 turns of rest as well. Yeah, so we'll have them both working on the sedative here. Everybody else digging, I think, is totally fine. And this way we didn't have to sedate Donald, so we'll actually have 1 extra sedative overall. And we'll let some time tick by here. In fact, we can probably get away with having whichever doctor is now more stable, like more rested, working, and the other one resting. So, debris and performance. Sarah's at 74, Dr. Zanace is at 82. So Sarah's going to take an extra turn to rest. Stop working, abandon project, rest. And Dr. Zanace is going to keep working, and everybody's mostly good to go here. Work for another 30 minutes. Very pleased with this so far. We're not halfway through, and we're going to have the first stage of the virus, it's looking like. Research complete. Shit, it got me. We need to bring Jack back. No question about it. So, Dr. Zanace, you just rest for a minute. Brandon, I'm going to have you charge the defibrillator. Digging's going fine, so we can take some time off. We need Jack back, though, to be a digger and a human experimentation subject in the future. Because he and Donald are, I guess, the least worthwhile. Sergeant Burton would be one of the least worthwhile, except he's us. So if we die, we lose. Work for another 30 minutes. Everything's fine. I'm going to be a little tight with this battery, but that's okay. So Donald should be awake. Analyze blood. Much more efficient than our last one. We were at like 11 hours left last time. So Donald has lived, and he should be relatively well rested after that 2-hour sleep. And we'll see. It should be LBA. LBA. Good. Yeah, this is the right one. Awesome, congratulations. Now what we need to do is find the compounds for the second structure. Wait, I thought this would save us. I'm sorry, Sergeant, the Medusa virus attacks the brain and the muscles. We found a cure for the physical paralysis, but there's still the mental effect. The virus' psychological effects are my specialty, that's why I came here in the first place. Okay. I would need to ask about... No, I guess I don't. You don't need to ask her about anything. Talk to Sarah. I didn't join the ECUK for this kind of stress. This is your fault, Burton. Wow, well, don't be a jerk about it. Use computer. Research antidote. So, we're going to stick with risky for now. And we know that there's 4 this time. So I say we just do... It doesn't have to be in the same order as the previous one, I think. So I'm going to do alpha, beta, delta, lambda, just to knock the first 4 out, and it's very easy to remember. ABDL. ABDL, ABDL. Dr. Zanace, obviously you are going to use computer to help research the antidote. So Donald, you basically have no benefit from helping charge the defibrillator this turn. So I feel like you should just dig for 1 turn, and then we'll advance time. We already had half a defibrillator charge, so it makes sense to me. No shit, it got me. No shit, it got me. Good, okay. We have a defibrillator, so we're going to talk to Jack here. Jack, there we go. Defibrillate. And this is a nice little rest for Jack, so he should be fine. Good. No, where are you going? You don't get to rest after that. Maybe you do. Let me see what your status is like. Debris and performance. Jack is 76. 76 is good enough, man. Don't give me that bullshit. You're gonna dig right now. Briefly, Dr. Zanace is going to stop working. Yeah, stop working to inject Donald with a sedative. Because we're gonna need to fix Brandon up pretty soon. Because Brandon's gonna need to lose a lot of juice helping out with this whole power supply situation. Alright, so Donald's gonna go to sleep for a while. You're gonna connect the power lines long enough for Donald to transfer his logic to you, or his energy to you, basically, and then we're gonna research antidote. Okay, this has been very nice, very slow, very methodical. Not slow, methodical is the word I was using. Deliberate, maybe, is an even better one. I say we even let this go for another turn in our existing situation. Work for 30 minutes. Jack's gonna get injected next, just because we can't afford to inject Sergeant Burton in case something goes wrong. No shit, it got me. Donald feels rested, which means Brandon is going to rest, and Donald is going to fix him up a little bit. Okay. So we can probably, let's rest for a second, Donald. I wish you could request information from Brandon while Donald is working on him, but I guess it makes sense that you can't. How are our doctors doing? Dr. Zanace and Sarah, they're pretty okay, actually. I think I'm going to have, well, which one's slightly worse off? I guess it doesn't really matter. We're going to have Sarah abandon the project temporarily. And, well, until it's done. And she's going to just use the computer to produce another sedative. No need to put extra effort that, you know, we don't get paid for extra effort, basically. You're going to repair Brandon, because Brandon's not looking so good. Wonderful. Okay, let's advance the time. We're approaching the halfway point. It's going to become increasingly pressing that we make more lethal antidotes to try to finish that off as quickly as possible. So, Jack, you're going to get injected here with ABDL. It's risky. I've never had someone die from a 40%er, though. I really don't want to kill Jack, but a lethal antidote is going to produce so quickly that it almost feels like it's a smart idea. Dr. Zanace, I almost feel like you should just produce some adrenaline. Maybe we could use that as we get a little closer to the end. For now, I think we advance time just a little bit. Brandon should be pretty good after the next series of events here. Jack's not looking so hot. Diagnosis. Chance of death, 22%. Could be worse, technically. Donald, why don't you rest for a minute? How's everybody doing, Brandon? Debris and performance. Donald's fine, Brandon's fine. All right, Brandon, you're going to dig for a little bit. Donald, you're going to dig for a little bit. And, wait, how's Sergeant Burden, though? Brandon, request information. Debris and performance. Sergeant Burden, 52%. You know what, Sergeant Burden? No need for a sedative. Why don't you just rest up a little bit? You'll be fine. And let's talk to Brandon one last time and see how close we are to the end. Debris and performance. 1,500 kilos left, so we can afford to take a rest. Let's let some time go by here. Work for 30 minutes. Don't die on me, Jack. This is important. Still alive. Sarah's done with her research, so you're gonna rest up, Sarah. We need you for the next gauntlet. Why is Sergeant Burden well rested after only sleeping for like a half an hour here? Maybe because he didn't go under 50 or something like that? Burden's at 94. Maybe it's like latent effects of the sedative or something? I don't know. You're going to start digging again. Kind of feel like we should maybe quickly inject Sarah with a sedative. And then when she comes back, she'll be good to go. She just inject herself quickly. And then Zanace can just kind of chill out after this. He can just rest up a little bit. Work for 30 minutes. I don't want both doctors out of commission. I'd like to get a start on the antidote when this one turns out to be wrong, which it probably will. Alright, so we got more adrenaline there. Brandon, how is Dr. Zanace doing? He is at 70. We can't have them both sedated, so I'm just going to have him rest for now. Because we need someone to be able to analyze the blood. That's my logic there. So let's let some time go by, work for 30 minutes. The battery's in a bit of a shaky spot. Jack's ready, okay. Analyze blood. I guess Sarah's awake, she can do that. And, you know, it'd be awesome if this was just right off the bat, but it probably won't be. Let's remember, ABDL. A's there, but in the wrong place. B's right. D's in the wrong place. L's wrong. So it could be DBAO. That's what I'm going to try. DBAO. Yeah, okay. All right. I need to, one second. There's a pen near me. I know it. We did ABDL. It really should keep track of that somewhere. There's a bunch of batteries on my desk, but no pens. Oh, then never mind. There's a huge one over here. Okay. You know, you can't see me doing it, but I'm writing right now, I promise. We've done A, B, D, L, and we know that B is correct. So I'm going to do D, B, A, O. D, B, A, O. Okay. Use computer. Computer, can you bring up Celery Man, please? So, this is going to be a dangerous injection. I think with an autopsy, we can still analyze blood. D, we got to be a little faster now. B, A, A-O. Okay, risk of death 75%, delta, beta, alpha, omega. Sure, D-bow. Donald, Brandon, what's going on over here? Request information. Debris and performance. Brandon's good. Donald could use a sleep. But actually, we're going to end up injecting Donald with this. So you're going to dig. Brandon, you've got to connect the power lines. Yeah, we're going to have Donald... get injected next. He may die. He may perish in this performance. Maybe Jack's less important, but I don't know. And whoa. You relax for a second. How's Dr. Zanace doing? Debris and performance. Dr. Zanace, 74%. I say we let him rest for a couple turns. We could sedate him. We can sedate him later, though. Save our sedative. Or we could adrenaline him, actually. But I don't know if I really want to do that. Okay, so let's request information quickly. Debris and performance. Dr. Zanace, 79. I say we have him rest one more turn. And it's going to slow us down a little bit here, I'll admit. I'll be the first to admit that. But then he'll be pretty fresh when he uses the computer to help research the antidote. Alright, let's see how everybody else is doing. Request information. Debris and performance. Donald's in a fucked up situation. Brandon's in a pretty bad situation as well. But we're gonna just let time advance a little bit. Yes, we're gonna let time advance once. Because what comes next? Oh man, that virus is really working its way in here. We're gonna stop connecting the power lines. So Brandon's gonna rest, and Donald is going to repair Brandon. We need Brandon to be good enough to connect the power lines for at least, 7 more hours of battery. Good. I say we just let some time tick by. We can probably have Sarah stop working, and instead she can get to work on a sedative. Or adrenaline, but we'll start with a sedative still. Sure. So we're getting down to the wire here. We're past the halfway point, but this is our second vaccine from the second part, so I feel pretty good about that. Please tell me he finished his research. He did. Okay. So let's quickly have Donald rest for a second. And Brandon, give me a status report on people. Brandon is okay. Jack's, you know what? Jack, you're gonna get injected. Donald's too important to keep Brandon alive. This is a 75% chance you die. But we will name the antidote Jack instead of D-bow if it works. Whether you stay alive or you die. So there is that incentive for you. And I think actually, Donald, we're going to quickly inject you with a sedative. And another sedative will be done pretty soon. And then what we're going to do is have Dr. Zanace help out with this sedative. And then they'll both get to rest a little faster. Now, Brandon, I think you can afford to... we're in a race against time a little bit here. Let's see how the debris is doing. 930 kilos left. Wouldn't hurt to maybe get some digging done as soon as possible. Little scary. I hope we can get out of here. I think we can. Alright, so we're going to be down to 10 hours. We've got 10/28ths of our time left. Is Jack still alive? Research complete. Good. You guys just rested the heck up here. Dr. Zanace, rest. Sarah, rest. Donald was resting, which I think was good, so he can repair Brandon more in the future. Jack, diagnosis. Oh, no, I gave him a sedative. That's right. He should wake up in 90 minutes. Okay. Donald. Wait, you don't need to repair anybody yet. I just want to see how you're doing. Brandon, give me a debris performance, or debris and performance here. 856. So we're getting like 50 per turn. We can definitely afford to just let time tick by for another turn. Come on, Jack. Don't die on me. Live here. I need your digging power, man. Oh, he's freaking out a little bit. I feel pretty rested. Diagnosis? 57% chance of death. Okay. I say we quickly use a computer and we're going to produce 1 adrenaline with both doctors. They seem to be doing all right. Having an adrenaline is not going to hurt as we get down to the wire here. All right. Brandon, how's life here? Request information. Debris and performance. How's Brandon? Brandon's okay. Donald's wonderful. Sarah's in a great position. Dr. Zanace is doing okay. So Donald, you're going to help dig. It would be a load off my shoulders if we could actually get this digging finished in time. So we'll work for 30 minutes here. D-bow. Oh, he's not looking so hot. Dr. Zanace, you're going to stop working and you're going to rest for a turn, just so you're ready. And Sarah's work will be fine here. You okay there, Jack? Diagnosis, chance of death, 57. Come on, work for 30 minutes. He should wake up this turn or next turn. Don't die on me. Don't die on me. Hey, he's totally fine, actually. Who would have thought? Jack, analyze blood. Come on, D-bow. Say it with me. D-B-A-O. 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 D-B-O-A. It has to be D-B-O-A. Okay, I'm writing it down. D-B-O-A. So we know that it's the right sequence. We have tons of time left. How is our digging situation? I think we got this. Brandon, request information. Debris and performance. Sergeant Burden should probably be sedated. You're gonna get injected with a sedative. Now the real question is, what kind of vaccine should we make? That was our like 4th or actually 5th vaccine of the game. So each one takes about 4 hours on cautious or risky. Jack, you're gonna dig for a while. I almost feel like we might want to give Donald another sedative. Brandon, request information. Debris and performance. Brandon's fine. He only gets hurt when he's helping to charge the battery. Donald's pretty fine too, though. So we're gonna have Brandon connect the power lines, and Donald will get ready to fix him. All right, let's make sure we do this properly. Use computer, research antidote. I think we get 2 shots at this, so I'm gonna go risky to start with, and it's gonna be D-B-O-A. The BOA. D-B-O-A. Okay, she's gonna help. You're both pretty well off in this situation, energy-wise. I think you got a good shot at it. We're gonna advance time. We're probably gonna end up injecting Donald. My hope is that the power lines will have enough. I think we're just gonna, well, let's check on Burden's restfulness. Burden's at 49, so he's got to take some more time. Work for 30 minutes. Yeah, my hope is that we'll be able to charge the battery up to the point where we don't have to charge it anymore. But Brandon's performance is getting a lot worse here. Request information. Debris and performance. Yeah, Brandon sucks. Donald is starting to suck. Brandon, you're going to rest. Donald, you're going to have to... well, first, let's see how Burden's doing. Can we get him back on the dig? Debris and performance. Burden, 90. Yeah, okay, Burden, you're back on the digging here. And Donald is going to help out. Oh, well, let me just see how much debris we have first. Request information. Debris and performance. Only 496 kilos. I think we can do it. So, Donald, you're going to repair Brandon. And then you're due for a sedative, which means I'm probably going to actually end up injecting you with the antidote. So we should have 2 more turns of getting the virus to tick down, or getting the antidote done. Yeah, 1 more turn after this. I think we can probably afford to have Sarah stop working and maybe start working on an adrenaline shot at this point. Use computer. Produce adrenaline. I think that's going to be more important than a sedative now. Okay, I think we're in a wonderful position, honestly. We know that this antidote's going to work. We just got to get it done. Research complete. So let's take a second. We're going to rest with Donald, and then we're going to have Brandon take a look. Request information. Debris and performance. 357 kilos left. Brandon's good, so he's going to connect the power lines. Donald is going to be injected, and Brandon should be good enough to keep the battery alive here until the end now. He's going to get DBD... Does that say DBDA? That better be DBOA. That's all I can say. Use computer. You're gonna help with the adrenaline here. Who knows? We might end up needing it. I hate games with fonts where the O's and the A's look so similar. We can always make like a lethal virus and just kill Jack with it. I'd prefer not to. Research complete. Why don't you fellas rest here, just to be sure in case we need you to make another virus. Although maybe it would make sense to make it as soon as possible. Let some time tick by. Pyrian Flax, you're not supposed to be playing Counter-Strike Global Offensive. You're supposed to be playing Dota. I'm not sure if you got the message. I'm in the moment right now. I'm a little scared. I feel pretty rested. Well, you know what? Then both of you can use... Well, you can use the computer to produce adrenaline as quickly as possible, because we're going to need it. So this should be our last use of Brandon as battery life. Good. We got more than enough battery life. Please tell me I did not misclick. Don't fuck with me here. We got 5 hours left. It should still be fine, but... Let's see. D? Oh, that's an O. B-O-A. Alright, we discovered the cure. Incredible work, Doctor. We owe you our lives. You owe me nothing if you don't clear the debris in time. Even with the antidote, the extreme exposure to the Medusa virus is incurable, so get us out of here. 0-3 burden. My pleasure. Okay. Well, the battery's good, so you can just dig from now on, Brandon. And, I think we've got this for sure, I would say. Brandon, request information. Debris and performance. 177 kilos left. Brandon's in a bad place. Donald, you're going to charge the defibrillator. And I'm thinking that maybe you can actually save Marvin in this situation. And we might as well have you use computer to produce more adrenaline, I guess. Why not, right? Work for 30 minutes. It should only take like 3 or 4 turns. I am very pleased with the way that this mission has gone down. A lot of it does boil down to that 75% deadly vaccine actually working out fine for us. Might as well research some more adrenaline just in case. Use computer, research or produce adrenaline, and let some time go by. We're above the threshold in every single category right now. That's all that matters. It's almost clear, I think. Maybe even it is clear. Marvin, defibrillate. We're bringing you back, dog. It's been a long 17 hours. All right. He's fine. You want to help with the digging operation, my man? Yeah, you can get some of the glory here. You are a little bit of a glory hound, aren't you? All right, work for 30 minutes. That should be it. Come on, people now. You can do it. Yay! There's no rocks there. Fuck the gods, we really did it. Let's get out of here. Hey, and we got an achievement. The Doctor. Okay. I'm interested to see what happens in the story now. Don't! Our mission is to protect the team, not engage in direct combat. I'm so happy to see you again, Sergeant. What are you doing, Liam? Is this your twisted notion of revenge? If that's what you want, you'll end it faster by just executing me. These people don't have anything to do with Xenolifer. Yeah, you'd love that, wouldn't you? I'm sorry, but revenge is not what I'm after. What I'm really after is the cure to the Medusa virus. That thing about leaving your team isolated with the virus, well, that was a gamble. I have my own research team, you know. But I could never apply these conditions on them, if you know what I mean. Anyway, all's well that ends well, no? I never imagined you would be this kind of a son of a bitch, Liam. Oh, it doesn't feel good being on the other side now, huh? No one likes being Xenolifer's enemy, but you two made your choices. Enjoy defending oppression and slavery. We have to go now, and we can't take any risks of letting you follow us or alerting the Constellar Federation, so farewell, Abraham. Is that like a flashbang? Oh, you blew up my speeder. If you leave us here, we'll die. Please, you know I'm not an assassin. It's just that if you get off this planet, I'm sure you'd further complicate my plans. Don't worry, I'm sure you'll find a way to survive. You may even end up liking your retirement here if you get a chance. Okay, so we beat Chapter 3, not on easy, on original. Keep everybody alive, more concept art. I'm really interested to see what the stats are here. Let's ignore the fact that it says you didn't sacrifice no one. Your favorite risk, risky. Most people seem to go with unstable, but risky is pretty close. We mostly produced antidotes. I'd say that's a pretty even breakdown. We probably produced more sedatives than the average there. You didn't sacrifice no one. So many people sacrificed Marvin. I can't... Okay, for real? How did so many people sacrifice Sarah? Like, Marvin, I get. I didn't want to do it because My practical concern was that the antidote for humans might not work on dogs and vice versa. But the other thing I knew was that he would be worse, or I would be worse off in the next mission if I didn't have him, I think. But why did so many people inject the doctor? I mean, I guess if you don't have another chance. Average was 24.22 hours. Fastest was minus 149 hours. That's really good. It's like minus 7 days. They got like a precog. Jack got more shots than the rest. So it seemed like most people gave Donald shots. Yeah. Next chapter, I guess. Chapter 4, Gods Will Be Watching. So this is the one from the game jam. I'll go through the preamble here in the story so we can start fresh on the next episode. Fuck. Fucking Xenolifer. Fuck them. You should have let me kill him, Burden. Liam's death achieves nothing. We have to be better than revenge. It would have been great if you shot him, though, because then you would have, escaped from the planet. Achieves nothing. Oh, man, I think everybody would be a lot happier if that bastard was dead right about now. The soldier has a point there, Burden. Agreed. I swore to save every life, but I can think of a lot of uses for Liam's corpse right now. We have to focus on getting off the planet. Sorry, I skipped over some dialogue. Donald, do you think the broken radio will do the job? It's going to be hard, but I think Brandon and I can fix it in time. If I remember correctly, emergency protocols dictate that an orbital convoy will cross this radio's frequency radius every 14 months. 14 months. Easy there. Based on my calculations, the orbital convoy will be within reach within the next 23 days. If we can get a signal out before then, there's a chance we can be saved. Okay, so that's our overarching goal, I guess, is get the radio fixed within 23 days. It sounds good, but if we don't manage the radio in time, we'll be stuck here for a year. Sounds doable. We can do this, team. If hunger doesn't kill us first. Or if we become infected by the Medusa virus. Or break down under the pressure. Right, they can also go crazy here. Or before we're hunted down by wild predators. Is that the start of the mission? No, it's just it's the sunset, apparently. I really like the art for this level. Let's start working. Days on Senekos are short, and this part of the planet only gets about 5 hours of light before sunset. So if I manage the team's time well, we'll be able to perform 5 tasks a day. Okay, simple enough. Conversations are time-consuming, so let's focus on the tasks at hand. I don't think that's a good idea. You should really make talking with us a high priority. We are already on the edge because of Xenolifer's attack, so some military attitude won't work here, Sergeant. Okay, I'll look after your delicate morale. Anyway, days are still short, so keep that in mind. You can only perform 5 tasks a day. Don't waste more time. Let's survive, team. Okay. Well, we're going to look into this on the next episode. As always, thanks for watching. Apologies that it took 2 episodes for me to beat that earlier part, but tricky game sometimes. If you enjoyed the episode, thanks for your continued support. Click the like button. It helps out a great deal. And, of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. But for now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.